Hello, guys, and welcome to Year of the Snake recap made together with Necro. Hello, Necro.
Yo, hello.
Yo, this is the second time that we are doing this. We did it last year, where Reses became the champion. He won Year of the Dragon, so huge congratulations to him. And the winner of the DK Ho Low Award goes to Lavine by bottom fragging. Very,
Big,
very impressive.
very big.
That's huge. We'll see who will take it home this year. It's the award that we give to the worst performing captain, so it's very prestigious to be so bad.
Yeah, you might be the
Um,
back-to-back. We'll see.
maybe. I mean, a lot of captains have predicted I'll be back to back, so
Yeah,
it
we'll
might
get to
just
that in a
happen.
second.
We'll get to that for sure. But yeah, we're just doing this recap sort of thing, and it's the same captains from last year, except that you have also made it onto the team, Necro, which is nice to see.
Yep, glad to be here.
Yeah, I mean, the other captains, they didn't want anyone else to be on. They just wanted to go with the same group of five captains. But I personally pushed to have more captains
Yeah,
on. So that was really good that we got you on. And maybe next year there could be even more additions potentially. Maybe we
yep.
can go up to 7 captains. I don't know. But yeah, and also like this was a last minute thing. Like it was literally decided on New Year's Eve that we were gonna go through with this event. So like 4 hours before the calendar said
Mm-hmm.
2025.
Yep,
So
yep.
but and the draft was also a day late into the year. So but it worked out in the end, and we managed to draft from a pool of 140 players. So
Yeah,
it'll
against
be
all odds, we made it back. We're here.
we made it. We made it in the end. So now we're just doing a little recap of the picks that went down. So I think we
Yeah.
should just start by going over the first round picks. Obviously, we can't talk about all players. There are so many players on the sheet, and we
Mm-hmm.
also limited on time and stuff. So I know it's exciting for players like listening to this to hear them self mentions and stuff, but it's
Yep,
not
yep.
really going to be possible. So we're just gonna select a few players and talk about a few teams and stuff. So
Yeah.
but I think we just start with the first round picks. What are you
Yeah.
thinking about this? I think there's probably one pick in particular that stands out to you as being
Yeah, yeah.
particularly bad. But
Yeah, maybe we should
let me hear
just
your thoughts.
address the elephant in the room with the turn pick, Everyone is thinking about it.
Yeah, it's
I
kind of bad.
mean, what is there to say besides that you got honey potted, I get it. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I look at Turn's profile, open it up one
Uh-huh.
time, and it says 7.4K EHP or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
You
the
saw that and you're
next
just like,
time, yeah, the next time you look again on his profile, it's just plus 10K for some reason. What the
yeah,
fuck,
yeah.
man?
Where did that all come from? Who knows?
Yeah, where did that come from? Fuck. I was so cooked. So like, and also like going into this draft, I didn't look at a single player in advance. I didn't look anyone up before,
Really?
and I also didn't. Yeah, and I also didn't look anyone up during the draft either. Not a
Yeah.
single player.
Okay. I
So that's
definitely looked into a few players, but I didn't really have like I didn't have like 10 tabs open like Swifts during the draft, so
yeah.
it's kind of like in between. But yeah, I definitely
Yeah, but
knew who I wanted
I
going
guess you all.
in.
Yeah, I guess you also know a lot about like you used to seeing a lot of players, so like you have a good
Yeah.
knowledge to draw from, I guess, right?
Yeah, there's definitely like a good list of the players here that I'm well aware of and what they're capable of. But yeah, I mean, this year you had to be really careful because there's some landmines because there's a lot of really like there was a good list of like incredible players that are in the pool that had like great years, but they're like finishing so soon. Like also like Swift's picking Spitesy first. I think he went really early because he only has like 2,000 hours left. Um,
Yeah,
and like we were talking about with Terrence, also incredible player, but he is just finishing so soon. Um, so
yeah. Like usually, like what we did last year too, was that we did just exclude the players who were close to finishing. That's also why someone like Enjoys is not on the sheet, for example.
right,
But like,
but he
but
has like no hours, right? Like Turn at least
yeah,
has
yeah.
like a decent amount. So
Yeah, I mean, he still has 1K left, and that's still fine to be on the sheet, right? As long as you
Yeah.
don't, as long as you're not dumb enough to first pick him, of course. Like,
Yeah. Who would do that?
but yeah,
Um, so yeah, I mean, just going down the list of first picks, I guess I'm going first again. I would have liked to be on my own team, but happy that
were you
DK'd.
were you first last year as well?
It was either me or
Or turn?
Svitzy. No, I
Oh,
think it was either me or Svitzy. But yeah, first or second.
because I just remember like last year, I wanted either turned or you, I think.
Mhm.
I th- yeah, I don't know. I just remember that if I got one of the first two picks, I wanted one of you two, but I didn't get one of the first two picks, so I ended
Yeah.
up I ended up picking like last year. I actually did more research than I did this year. Like last year, I actually looked up players before. This still came last, but like the guy I picked was Sav 777, and I had
Oh
never
yeah.
seen that name before. I had never
Yep.
seen my first round pick last year before. Like,
Yeah.
and he didn't do so well last year.
Well,
But
I got
yeah.
him on my team this year, so he's gonna pop for sure.
Yeah, and you got him late, right? What's that?
Yeah.
Round 11.
Yeah. Round 11.
That's pretty good value, I think. Probably.
What do you think about Rez first picking himself?
Yeah, I think that's bad. I don't think that's
Really?
necessary at all. I think yeah. I
Hmm.
don't think that's good at all. You think anyone else would have picked them early even? Definitely
Uh,
not. I don't see anyone picking him in the first round for sure, and I don't think anyone else would pick him early either. You think so?
I don't know. I maybe not first. I think it is a strong pick though. Like I think he's playing a lot and he's showing that he like, cares to play that account a lot. So I mean if he's picking himself, he's definitely got, faith in his hours, so I don't see why
Yeah,
not,
I mean, he is gonna do well and he's gonna do good hours, but I don't know if you're another captain, I wouldn't be so like sure in picking him because
Yeah.
I would just be concerned about like will he even stick to this account? This is still a relatively new account for him, so
Yeah.
like maybe you would have to know his plans with that account. Uh,
Hmm.
so like yeah, I wouldn't have picked him. I don't know if I would have picked him at all. Maybe really late, but he's not like even an early consideration for me. So I'm
Yeah.
surprised that he picks himself first round for sure because I don't see anyone else going for him. But what do I know? I'm not surprised about you going first. Like I knew you would be going for in the first round for sure. Like that was my highest priority. I was gonna first pick you if I had the first pick as well.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to grab myself too, but
Yeah, you
that's what
obviously
it
want to have
is.
yourself, right?
Uh,
Especially if you know you're going to be playing. Like, it just sucks that all the hours that you're doing is not contributing to your team. So,
yeah, that's all good.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
so the next pick is Svitzy from Swifts. We just talked a little bit about it that
mhm.
he's capped to the 2K app or something.
Yeah. I think that was early. Actually, during the draft, I kind of was like spaced and I didn't even realize he got picked. And I went to grab him because I forgot to remove him on my own sheet and he was already picked. And that's when I realized Swift's picked him round one. And he's just another one of those, like, really great players that you want to grab, but he just doesn't have the hours to be like a first pick, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Um, but I mean, he's gonna, you're gonna get the hours out of him, so definitely
yeah,
not like a
like
flop or anything. But
for sure. Yeah, that's a really good point because it's like like him and Turn, they are cap players, but at least you are like 99% sure that they will cap out as well. You are
yeah,
gonna
like
get the hours out of them.
they're gonna put those hours in. So
Exactly. And then the next first round pick is first for you, Necro.
yeah,
That was surprising to me,
yeah,
Geduzo.
Guduzu. Yeah, what do you think about that? I want to hear your thoughts first.
Like I'm just surprised that he went this early. Obviously, it's a comp player who's just done a huge month and a huge
Uh
week,
huh.
right? And yeah, usually that doesn't necessarily translate to a good year. So I was just a
Hmm.
little bit surprised because I don't know how like long term macro player Kidusu is because he was absent right up until the Terry comp, right? He didn't play.
Around there, yeah, I believe. Yeah.
I think he
So
started. I think he started picked up the game like a week before or something again
yeah.
before the Terry comp.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
but like
he's still going hard. This is a player that I have faith in. For this
yeah,
draft, I've put a good amount of stock into some soulless new blood. I think that's going to pay off greatly for me.
mm,
We've got, such an active presence now. I think it's going to be super motivating for a lot of these new like players getting into skilling, and you know, players like that just have so many hours, so they can just like, even if the motivation is low, you can bounce between like so many skills. Whereas like some of the older heads, you are kind of locked to doing whatever you have left, and that can be kind of demotivating for some people. Um, I think um, with Enlin's first pick, I think he actually got a great first pick for the position he was in, being last
yeah,
and a
absolutely,
non-snake. The only thing that
absolutely.
I would change in, and this is hindsight, but I think, like, I reckon I could have grabbed Tortonama first and still gotten away with essentially the same draft that I did.
Yeah,
Like,
I think so too because like I know for a fact I'm not taking Gedusu early because I don't
hmm
see him as that like
yeah,
long
yeah,
term aggro player.
you people
So
don't
that's
have
my thought
faith,
process.
you know?
Exactly, and I think that other captains might be thinking the same thing. So like leaving him open could be like good.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Because, but I did something similar back in the Soulless 10-year anniversary draft. Because I picked Geduso very early. I don't know if he was my second or third round pick, and that was really good because he was doing good hours. But I
yeah,
think I could maybe have gotten away with picking him even later in that draft, and still
yeah.
like have gotten him, but then have gotten a really good player in place of him earlier. So
Mhm.
like priority of players is also really important in this stuff. But
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think uh, like I'm very pleased with what I got, but I think that is like the one thing I could have done just because I think I could have gotten away with it. Like I don't think like maybe I would have lost like one or two of the players. I don't know if anybody had their eyes on any of the other picks I had, like going down to like round 5 or whatever, but I do believe I could have essentially gotten away with just grabbing Tortanama and then having the same draft because I know he's expressed that he wants to focus more on skilling this year, and that guy's a beast. So I'm sure Enlin is going to get a lot of hours out of him.
yeah, for sure. And then he does a mistake maybe, like he
Mm,
goes into Minolinsky in the second round, which is
yeah,
just a follow up of like the turn pick, right, and
yeah,
Schweitzer pick.
yeah, yeah.
Because
It's kind of
Minolinsky
the
is
same
also
thing.
hard capped. He's
Hmm
also hard capped. So
Yeah, I think it's not as bad when it's in your second, maybe because you're
yeah,
just getting some like guaranteed hours. But I do see what you're saying, where it's definitely it's that same thing where it's just like it's a fantastic player, but they're hard capped, so
yeah, exactly.
it just kind of is what
Like
it is.
what who do you think like has the best like first 2 round picks like at the duo?
Ooh. Uh,
I think it might be you, but
I
that's like
I
but
agree.
that's like
I do agree.
but that's like the CC9 pick is a great second pick, but I
Yep.
don't know. I still have concerns about Geduso, but
I think
I think if I had to choose one, I think I would go with you. But also like Risk is also really good. I
yeah,
think
Rez. I
maybe
think yeah, I think Rez's entire team is really strong, to be honest, and I think his first two picks are really good. Um, but yeah, so I think yeah, I would still say like my team has the best first two picks just because of the potential, and I think no matter what, like those two players are just gonna get like a lot of good hours in. I mean, picking players like just the Iron Men like Cactus, like you just know you're gonna get like a lot of good hours from them because they just endlessly outperform like a lot of the mains and even main EHP. So yeah, I have a lot of faith for both of them.
for sure, for sure. I think that I probably have the worst
Yeah,
duo,
yeah. Let's talk
and
about
also
your second pick, Wizard. What are we saying?
I don't know. Like I just thought that he still had good. Like, I knew he had performed. Like
Uh
Turn was my pick last year because of the great performance from him, right?
yeah,
And it
yeah.
was the same thing with Wizard. Great performance from him last year, and
It's just
I knew he
unfortunate
had a
that you
lot of
picked the
hours.
yeah.
Yeah, I knew he had a lot of hours, but I didn't know that it was this cooked.
You
That's
picked
really
the two like players that could give you like the most hours, but just can't. Like they just
yeah,
can't.
yeah, yeah. That's so fried. And then like into the third pick, Shawarma third, who's not even playing.
Yeah, when was
That's
his last
so
update? Like two
yeah.
months,
It's from
2, 3 months
yeah.
ago?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's from November or something, and I tried
Oh my
to
god.
check his update table if there's any sign there that he might be coming back, but it's just Redwoods the last few drops.
Oh,
So I don't know.
yeah.
It's just so expensive because like the first 3 round picks that could be like you're looking at maybe like 4.5 5k to up to 8 to 9k EHP combined from those first 3 picks, and I'm
Hmm.
like assuming Shawarma doesn't log in at all, I'm gonna be hard capped to 2.7k while you guys will get on the north of 5k at least from your
Hmm.
top 3 picks probably, right? So like
Yeah.
I'm just so cooked. I'm losing like 3 4k, maybe even 5k hours
Yeah.
on the
You
first
lost the
3 rounds
spearhead,
already.
bro. Your team has no
Yeah,
spearhead.
that's so fucking fraud. It's so fuck.
I think your fourth
And
pick is really good for what it's worth. You started
yeah,
to sort of cook a little bit
like
there.
like he has almost double the EHP of the second player by now on my team, and it's
Yeah.
like the only reason I picked him, I didn't even know this guy. I really, and I looked at his profile. He even has like over 7k EHP, doesn't he?
Hmm.
I think he has a good chunk of the EHP, but I've just never seen the name before, and I only know about it because I saw him in the best duo comp. He's paired with the Spitzy, I believe,
Yeah.
and so I saw his name there, and I thought, oh, this will probably be a pretty good pick, maybe.
Yeah, you're gonna
And
get good hours out of him for sure.
yeah, I think he will be my MVP
I
by the looks of it.
agree, yeah. I agree.
And I think like from that point on, like after the fourth round, it's not that bad. I don't think I have the best draft from fourth to the last round, but
Yeah,
I think I have it's going better. I'm not getting out drafted that hard from that point on. I don't think
yeah. I
I might
mean,
still be losing, but yeah,
I feel yeah, the further you go down, I feel like the more just gray it is, and a lot of these players are just like kind of on the same years, and that's where it could just like get like kind of crazy. Like you could have like one team have a lot of the lower picks just play like 500 to 700 hours, and then another team doesn't have that, and then they're just gonna pull ahead. Now it'll have nothing to do with their top end players, so
yeah,
that'll be interesting to see. Um,
absolutely. But what do you think about some of Rez's like earlier picks that aren't himself and Isra, like Farmer McGee in third? Isn't that weird?
yeah, I think he plays a lot. I think he's close to finishing, isn't he? I don't really know
I think so. I don't think
much
there's that
about
much
him.
left in him.
Yeah,
I don't, and so that's kind of weird. And then I don't know. Like Tails, he wasn't playing, is he?
and you never know. You never know. He could
Yeah,
think I don't know. I think his entire team is just like pretty consistent, like going down. I feel like I see his like top end. It's not like really what makes me think his team is like super strong. It's mostly just like the whole thing and one like when I'm looking at all the picks compared to like the other teams.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because I'm looking at the power ranking now, and you have Riz as second. That's really surprising to me.
yeah.
I have
I think
him
his team is
fourth.
solid. Yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
surprised me to see you put him so low.
yeah.
Um, are there
I
any
think like
other?
it seems like the other captains have him in three and fourth, like similar to me.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't know. I think the mid picks are okay from him, but there's also like concerns about his top picks. I think, but just like if he does good hours himself, then that can really also go a long way on a team like that.
yeah, for sure. Are there any
So
other standouts you would like to look at before we move on to the power rankings?
no, not really.
Okay,
I
I'm
think we've covered the most
taking
what
a
we can
quick
get into.
look. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see. Okay, so moving on to our rankings. What do we think here?
Yeah, I guess I can talk about my first picks. Like I
Mm-hmm.
have Inland first, and it's just like I just like his picks early. Like I like his Totunuma pick, and maybe Milinski isn't the best, but all
Mm-hmm.
the following subsequent picks from that point on, like Yihi, TNF, Fong, Yukika, Wikix, maybe even Halcyon Seed. I don't know if they will be doing a lot of main EHP, but I think those are really strong picks. I
Mm.
think they're really good picks. I don't know. I don't know if you need to pick Fong that early though, but he will probably
Uh,
do
I think that's
well.
a pretty good spot to pick him. I think he's
You think so?
yeah, I think he's been putting in some good hours. I think he'll perform for sure.
Yeah. Like, what do you value more? Do you value more like being on a good year or like being on like a good recent pace? If we don't make assumptions about how much EHP they have until they finish, because of
Um,
course that would matter
I mean,
too.
of course it's both, but like I definitely would value like the overall macro more like the year. Like if someone's like on a really crazy current pace, that's good to see, but that's not like that doesn't paint the whole picture for me. I would rather see somebody that's consistently putting in a lot of hours over the year. Because I mean, like a good example of that would be like your shawarma pick. Like you look at his year and it's just like, oh yeah, this is a you need to pick him, right? But he hasn't played in like 2 months, and that's kind of problematic. So,
Yeah. That's also why I think it can be good to like look at the last 6 months instead
hmm
of the year, for
oh yeah,
example.
for sure, for sure.
But I just didn't look at anyone, so that's why I didn't do that. But I should have done that for sure.
Yep.
I'll come strapped to next year for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot to play for because like fighting to dodge the DK low award, that's
Right,
huge, you
right. You
know.
don't want to be the
So
back-to-back champion.
exactly. So there's still a lot to play for, even if we probably aren't going to win with this group of players.
I mean, you never know. You might just
You
have
never
a
know.
couple of diamonds in the rough. Like I said before, there's so many players on every team that like it just takes a few to just pop off.
Yeah.
So you never know. Will that happen? Probably not, but you could hold
Exactly.
on to that.
Exactly, because like last year, the difference between the two winning teams was literally only 400 EHP, and even turned right.
Yeah.
He did 4.4k EHP, but if he
Mm.
had done a 4k year instead of 4.4k year, then his team would have lost. That's how
Yeah.
close this is. It's so
hmm
ridiculous. Like
Yeah. It's crazy.
it just takes a little bit to move the needles to the point where you just lose or you just win or something.
Mm.
But of course, there's also teams where the spread is so big. Like I could lose by 7k HP, for example. But
Yeah.
it can definitely also be close between some teams. We'll see about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, then I have you second. Yeah, I've talked about your team. It's a pretty good team, solid.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
We're gonna do well.
yeah, and then Swift's third. I don't know. I couldn't really decide on Swifts and Res, but so I just ended up choosing Swifts. A lot of uncertainty with that team as well, I think. But I also think there's
Yeah.
some good picks. Hewell Royce, for example, could be really huge. Pretty late pick as well that might perform. So I don't know. And then I have myself as the only one. I'm the only captain who hasn't put myself who hasn't put Lavine last. But I put a DK Ho last because surely he will be the DK Ho Low Award winner this year.
For sure. For sure.
So what about your picks? Like, is there anything you want to add to your power ranking?
Well, I mean, like I said, I think I put my team first. I think I'm very pleased with the picks I got. Um, like in this draft, like I said before, I put stock into some Soulless New Blood. I think that's going to pay off. And then I got some timeless classic like Iron Man picks and stuff that are just going to be putting in consistent hours. I have a full faith in all of these boys, so put my team first. And I also think Rez's team is very strong overall. Put him in second. I will add though, I think when I was thinking about this, I was going between Enlin and Rez's team quite a lot. I didn't really know who to put where, so like for what it's worth, like I kind of see them both equally or strong in different ways, I guess. That was kind of a tough decision for me. And then the last three, like DK and Swifts, and they're also kind of the same to me. I'm not really sure what to expect. I see them as like just about as strong. And hate to say this, but I do see your team as last for sure. And I think
Yeah,
you have some
I mean
great
everyone
picks.
does. Yeah,
I think you have some great picks and you have some great players, and it's just like the complete lack of like the spearhead, at least in the beginning.
yeah,
I think it's a little rough,
yeah. And I also think because like yeah, I don't know. Like I think we're also a little bit colored by this because we've already seen the standings, right? And I'm already at the bottom. And I think
Yeah.
the issue for my team is, I'm gonna run out of EHP from a good handful of my players, the players that are supposed to be top fracking.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna lose hours from those people. They will just be dropping zeros at some point, a big donut, right? So
Mhm.
I kind of need to be ahead early. I need that early start because if I'm not ahead early, then it's just completely cooked because my hours are gonna be dropping even lower when they're out of EHP, right? So the fact that I'm already at the bottom now in the current standings, and my players will run out of EHP is just like that's really gonna be tough.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still early days, regardless of all of that. But I kind of just need my team to get off to a good start to have a chance in any way.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
So
haven't
I think it's totally fair to put me at the bottom. So
yeah, my decision wasn't really changed that much by like where it stands right now. Like it could have been complete like the current standings could be completely flipped and I would still pretty much put everything where they were cuz
yeah,
I'm just thinking like of the long term of the comp. I think that's how it's going
yeah.
to end up, but
Yeah, I mean, we're
yeah,
only
who
5 days in,
knows?
and there's 360 days left, so you can't
Yeah,
really
yeah.
judge anything from
Yeah.
now. But maybe it's like an early indication of what will be to come.
Right.
But we know from last year, like we had so many shifting leads last year that was so exciting to see.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. That's crazy.
DK Ho, he led early in the first. I don't know when he lost first place, but he led after the first couple of weeks. He was ahead, and that's because he picked players who were on a good month, good recent hours,
Hmm.
and they just couldn't keep it up the whole year. So he dropped really low to second to last in the comp. And then you had like Resses and Swifts. They were like fighting for the first place, but then the Swifts fell off, and Team Inland's team popped off and
Yeah.
almost managed to come back all the way back to beat Resses team. But he was just a little bit too far ahead, and he fell short by 400 EHP. So like we can have these exciting changes and shifts throughout the year, and there will be bans, and there will be someone starting a 3K year or 4K year, and yeah.
Yeah, there was some talk about maybe multiple bans on your team. I don't know if you have any
Yeah,
response to that,
apparently,
but
apparently, I don't know. Like, apparently, I'll lose two players.
yeah, I won't say who, but anyways.
Yeah,
All right, well, I don't know if you wanted to touch on any of the other power rankings. I don't really have much to say about the other ones. I think
yeah. We can't
Swiss,
really we can't really speak on the other captains' power
yeah,
rankings. Like
can't really say
the
what they're. I think Swiss is like kind of trolling with his power ranking. That's all I'm gonna say though.
yeah, like putting you fourth. Come on,
Yeah, I
dog.
don't know what that's about.
Yeah, the England has you fifth. Like I don't know. It's
Yeah,
maybe it's
criminal.
personal.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I think we'll just wrap it up here.
Yep, yep,
It was a great one.
yep. Good luck to all the teams and like getting those gains.
Good luck.